Heavens High. I'm Brother Ricky, and I'm a grateful member of the Faithful Remnant Church, the only remnant church spoken about in the book of Revelation. We are led by the real and the only two witnesses in the world. If anybody claims to be the two witnesses and they are not, Petrus and Mary Romanus, then they are liars. Because the two witnesses are here gathering the 144,000 from all four corners of the earth. How can this be, you may be asking? They have an online testimony, which is in the Bible, it is referred to as the Flying Scroll. And the online testimony could be found at www.testimonyofthetwowitnesses.com. There you will see the two witnesses are Petrus and Mary Romanus. Petrus Romanus also goes by Pope Peter the Last. Does the name Pope Peter the Last ring a bell? Well, if you know of Nostradamus, he has mentioned this. Also, Pope Peter the Last has been mentioned by St. Malachi. St. Malachi spoke about this last pope that will be elected by God and not the people. Guys, I'm making this video from our brothers and sisters who are on the Ark of Salvation. As you know, at this moment, I am currently under the waterline. And if you're wondering how I found myself here, I will explain. So if you're in the same situation or if you find yourself in this predicament, I hope this video can help you. Being called to become a member of the Faithful Remnant Church is a very special calling that many are choosing to neglect. And I'm guilty of these charges. I'm guilty because I became spiritually lazy. And due to this neglect towards my salvation, I took a back seat, and my personal relationship with my Creator was also in the back seat. I found myself making stupid decisions due to listening to everything but the inspirations of the true Holy Spirit in the moment. And in doing so, Pope Peter the Last and Mary Romanus has brought this to the surface. And the truth is, they were 1000% correct in their assessment of me and in my interior life. And I greatly appreciate them for catching my mistake. Before I found myself off the ark, drowning in a sea of demons. There were a few good tips and great counsel that I received in the past week. One main thing that Pope Peter the Last made me realize was our relationship with our Creator comes before our own salvation. I wouldn't let any stranger into my house. So how can I expect God to accept me into his era of peace when I am becoming a stranger to him? You think God would let you enjoy his kingdom and all that he made in heaven if you put everything else but God first? Of course not. God gives to those who give to him. So how can you expect to grow as a faithful remnant member when you don't want to walk or talk with God daily? You can't grow if you're lying in the back seat. Another thing I decided to do in order to grow closer to God was I eliminated many distractions in my interior life, one being my cell phone. I found myself on social media and other distractions more than I found myself reading the testimony, let alone living the words of the testimony. I was on a slippy slide with a 1,000-pound rock tied to me. And if you find yourself under the waterline like me, please, I can't stress this enough, but don't let the demons have you feel that you can't make it back above water. Remember, the demons don't want you to float. They want you to drown. So put on your floaters and apply them so you don't drown. And what are these floaters I speak of? These floaters are allegory for the heavenly counsel from Petrus and Mary Romanus in these end times. The devil will try anything to trip up the faithful remnant. But remember, he can only do to you what you allow him to do. So those in the faithful remnant church know the spiritual realities. So there is no excuse in these end times for the first time in history since the resurrection of Jesus, we are getting messages from heaven straight from God himself. So if you're on the outside looking in and you want this to be, and I want this to be very clear, the online testimony is the second coming. The Messiah has returned, and he has returned as Petrus and Mary Romanus. And if that doesn't motivate you to get above the waterline, then prepare to be defeated by the faithful remnant church. Reject that spirit of pride and humble yourself before all of heaven and your Creator. and make the necessary changes before it's too late. I'm Brother Ricky, guys. This is part one of a two-part series that I'm making. And until next time, guys, stay blessed. Remember, read the testimony as much as you can and apply that holy water. Until next time, guys. Bye.